Tyler, obviously coming off a pretty productive game, what was just that game like for you to be in the situation in the rain, to be putting a lot of different, you kicking it short, you're kicking it long, just to be able to test yourself like that?
Yeah, obviously it was a fun game. Going out there early, we're scoring, we're getting having much success, and then we kind of hit a dry spot. Going out there and just doing my job really is what it is, and helping the offense keep momentum going, help my team keep momentum going, just putting points on the board really.
For a kicker, you don't really necessarily have a set coach out there, and Coach Harsin was kind of saying on Monday that he trusts you a lot. He said you're the best coach out there for him. That you trust, if you say you can make it, he believes it. What does that mean for you that the coaches have that confidence that they can put you in wherever and they think you can make it?
I think it's a huge thing. Obviously going out there, my preparation has obviously shown up, and it's something that I need to keep building on. There's just a lot of things that I still need to improve on. Obviously, I missed, and that's kind of a huge thing. Today I probably hit about 10 to 15 54s. Made just about all of them. I think one I actually hit the post, which bugged me. But it's good to have the confidence. It's good that they know my ability, and it's good that I can go out there and prove to them that what I can do.
What was it? Was it a little tough? You go for the 54-yarder and everything was right except it was just like a few inches off. I mean, was that? How do you process that as a kicker? Was it just tough, or?
It's very tough. It's one of those things where, if it misses right, you accept it. It goes in. Obviously, it's a great thing. It's like you hit the post. You're like, I think it's one of those things where it bugs me more just because you're about 6 inches from success right there, and I think it just kind of gives me more of a drive because that's one of the only kicks I do remember.
It's one thing to in practice make those, but for them to give you a chance in the game from 51 and to make it. What does that do for your confidence? And then it showed their confidence in you that later in the same game they let you go from even further back. I mean, what does that do for you to make that confidence-wise, and also knowing now that the coaches have confidence in you that if you need to do it again, they'll give you a shot?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it builds a lot of confidence in me just going out there. Just that particular day, I mean, I was feeling good. Rain wasn't doing much, but I mean, just being able to hit that now, I think I can go out there and just be more confident in what I can do and my abilities to do it.
Coach Harsin was telling us that you give him like motivational stuff, and sometimes he even tells it to the team. Was he joking around, or what kind of stuff?
No, there's different motivational stuff that obviously comes a lot from my dad as well, and then he's into that. I'm into that. And there's different quotes that I'll give him. He gave him a poem one time that he recited in front of the team. It's called "The Champion Man," which it's kind of something that my family is based off of. So.
And then he told us that you had the idea to use the iPads.
Yeah.
Tell us, I saw you using it out there today. Tell us about that.
So with the iPads, it's hard for a kicker to get the immediate coaching from somebody. So what the iPads does basically is, you get the response from Rid first. He knows the basics of it. He knows, where your plant foot needs to be and all that. With us, it's, you become your own coach, how you kind of grew up kicking and stuff like that. You don't necessarily have a coach there. So what the iPad does, it gives you that immediate feedback that you need. Say if I hit a ball that may have gone in but it doesn't feel right, that's I can go right back to it, and it kind of gives me my own coaching.
So somebody just uses the iPad to record it, and you just watch it right away.
Just right after we go back.
So you're not using the cameras from up there; you're actually recording it on the iPad and watching it.
Yeah, we have some of the recording girls that just kind of stand behind, record it, and that way just right after I can just look at it.
I mean, I know kickers definitely. Talking with some of you guys in the past, they say they have a lot of downtime in practice. Are you finding ways to be productive in this downtime, it seems? I mean, studying yourself kicking during practice, finding ways to kind of be innovative about position and critiquing yourself?
Yeah, I think that's what the iPad does for not just me, but for Sean and Kevin as well. It builds more time to put time into our game, to perfecting our craft. And so, it kind of takes away from that boredom during practice or that downtime, to where if we do something wrong right then and there, we can go back. I can do a different kick. Kevin can adjust what he's doing right there, and it just kind of helps us out.
Does it truly work? I mean, can you think of an instance recently with something you're doing mechanically and you could pinpoint it and just put use right on the field right there?
Yeah, there was, probably beginning of last week, I was hitting the ball a little thin, trying to figure out what it was, going back, looking at different kicks, and my plant foot wasn't deep enough. It was probably inch to a half inch off. Something that you wouldn't really notice until you go back, you look at it more, and then all of a sudden I fix it right away, and I have that immediate success from it. And so it's one of those hairline things that you find.
I mean, it's hard to say, but being able to make corrections that quickly, do you think that helps you have the game that you just had?
Oh yeah, definitely, because especially, I have Harson who's 100% behind us. I have Rid who's 100% behind us. So them giving me the ability to do this, having confidence in us to be able to coach ourselves, and then going back and looking at it and having the whole practice really to correct it, I think it helps build us during games.
It seems like you're kind of in a unique role. I mean, like hearing Hartz, I don't think I've ever heard Hartz say that there's kids on the team that coach him, kind of. I mean, It seems like a pretty unique role that you kind of developed here.
Yeah, I think it's definitely fun because, he pulled us aside saying, one of the things that he wants to build as a coach is to build on the kicking game. And so that's where I think I've taken the role of, if there's different articles that I look at that I like, or there's different stuff that I think is cool, I bring it right to him, just go in his office, we talk about it, he likes most of the ideas, if he doesn't like it, he just tells me, but I think he's very open to learning about it all, which is really cool.
You ever
What's
made
the-
four field goals in a game before, going back to either JUCO or high school or anything?
Oh yeah, high school, I believe I had 4. I don't think I had 5 in a game, but high school and JUCO, I believe I had 4 before.
What's the longest kick you've made in a game?
High school, I believe it was 52, and then junior college, 53.
Okay. So you said you were working on the 54s today. Do you normally do that, or was it just because of that last game where you're like, I've got to keep trying from there?
Well, it's a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Obviously you want to go from that distance during practice. That way, when you're in the game, it's something new. But today in particular, I was just in that very spot, just making sure I don't miss again.
Have you noticed? How are you enjoying this start that you've had? Because I think you're doing sort of the impossible, is getting people excited about the kicker here and stuff like that. I know sometimes it's a thankless job, but I think people are excited. Have you noticed it, and how much have you enjoyed the start that you've had yourself?
No, I've really enjoyed it. Obviously, the tension's fun to have, but I think the big thing for me is, embracing it and then have it kind of humble you at the same time because, we're just at the beginning of the season. It's actually just my 4th collegiate game. And so I think with this, I just need to keep building off this and keep going strong the rest of the season.
You probably know as much as anybody the kicker, is only as good as the last one, I guess. So you have that mentality? Or?
It's short-term mentality. The next kick, it's the next kick. You got to forget about the last one. No matter what you did, you failed or you succeeded, you just got to get to the next one.
At the end of the day, what is your job? I mean, if the offense drives down into the red zone, not leave 7 points on the field, maybe only leave 4 at times, or maybe when they can't get to the red zone, how important is it for you to, be able to extend possession? I mean, when you don't hit the red zone, they want to score in the red zone, but that in between that 20 and 30 yard line, that's kind of like where they probably won't need to count on you to be the guy that cashes in from there.
My job is one of those things where during the middle of the game when it's just 3 points, you don't really notice, and at the end of the game, it's a huge thing, but really my job is to put points on the board to help the offense, to help my team really, and it's I also need 10 guys before me to do their job before I do mine, which is huge. So it's not just me, it's the other 10 guys on the field. So basically going out there, doing my job, making every kick is what I'm here for.
When you trotted out there to try the 51-yarder, I mean, it's been a little while since anybody at Boise State connected from that distance. Was there blood pumping just a little bit more, or heart pumping just a little bit more, just knowing that if you hit it, you're probably going to get more opportunities?
Yeah, I mean, going out there, it's one of those things where you don't want to overcompensate for how long it is. You just want to keep it a regular kick, but obviously there's testosterone going. You're thinking, oh wow, this is a 51 attempt, 51 yards right now, but it's just going out there, staying within yourself, and just doing your job.
It was only 14-0 at that point too, so it wasn't like it was just. The game was still the first quarter, I guess.
Yeah, so I mean, going out there, the thought process was my offense needs points right now, and so just doing what I can to put points on the board.
What are your thoughts? I mean, you could have had a couple of those maybe in the BYU game from about that distance.
Yeah.
What was kind of the thought process there? Because there was a couple times where obviously they went for it on 4th in that game from that kind of that no man's land kind of type of distance.
It's one of those things where I had to prove myself that next week in practice and showing my leg strength and proving to the coaches that I can connect from out there. There could have been times where I could have proved it sooner where I didn't, and that could have potentially helped us there. But we have it now. They know now. I'm comfortable from there, so hopefully we could just keep going from there.
You said that you